Here's a compelling story about how economic actions can backfire in today's interconnected world. The United States, long accustomed to wielding its economic might, is facing an unexpected challenge that's reshaping the global automotive landscape. Remember when American cars dominated worldwide? Those days are fading. The recent 10% tax on Chinese goods was intended to flex American economic muscle. Instead, it's triggered a response that's sending shockwaves through Detroit and beyond. Today's China isn't the manufacturing apprentice it once was. We're dealing with an economic powerhouse that surpassed American industrial capacity in many sectors. Beijing's response to U.S. tariffs was swift, a 10% levy on American-made vehicles entering their market. For companies like Tesla, GM, Ford, and Mercedes, who've bet big on Chinese consumers, it's a potential catastrophe. American-made vehicles now face a 25% tax when entering the Chinese market, creating a virtual barrier to entry. China's manufacturing evolution is remarkable. Their factories aren't just cheaper, they're more advanced. While U.S. facilities struggle with aging infrastructure and higher costs, Chinese plants run state-of-the-art automated systems. Take SHME, for example. Their production lines look like something from a sci-fi movie. Robots working in harmony, creating vehicles that rival European quality at lower costs. This isn't isolated. It's becoming standard across China's automotive sector. The impact on American jobs could be severe. Our manufacturers face higher production costs, restricted access to the world's largest car market, and sophisticated competition from abroad. Trump's promise to revitalize American manufacturing through tariffs appears to have backfired, potentially accelerating U.S. automotive decline. Instead of protecting American interests, it's exposed our vulnerabilities in a changing global market. The reality is clear. We're witnessing a shift in global manufacturing power. The question isn't whether America can maintain its automotive leadership. It's whether we can adapt quickly enough to remain relevant. Good evening, viewers. Tonight, we're diving into a critical story about America's automotive industry that could affect every household in the nation. The numbers show a troubling picture of what experts call the potential collapse of U.S. auto manufacturing. Ford and General Motors, once the pride of American industry, face a crisis reshaping our manufacturing landscape. In 2024, U.S. automakers exported $3 billion worth of vehicles to China, but that door is rapidly closing. China's auto market is massive, with 22 million cars sold yearly, dwarfing other markets worldwide. Chinese consumers now prefer domestic brands like BYD and NIO, or foreign brands producing cars in China, like Volkswagen and Mercedes. Ford's situation is concerning, with a 19% stock drop last year and a potential $2 billion earnings drop in 2025. Quality control issues and China's import charges compound the problem. While America focused elsewhere, China built an industrial powerhouse. They produce 32% of all vehicles globally, compared to America's 11%. Industry experts are increasingly concerned about this shift. U.S. manufacturers are losing their grip on an industry they once dominated. Made in America was once the gold standard in automotive manufacturing, but this era might be ending unless dramatic changes occur. This affects more than assembly line workers. It's a potential domino effect impacting parts suppliers and local businesses in manufacturing communities. For Americans in the automotive industry, the situation becomes more concerning each day. The question isn't if these changes will come, but how soon and how severe they'll be. Good evening, my fellow Americans. Tonight, we're diving into a story that affects every single one of us. The price of your next car and why it's about to skyrocket. What I'm about to tell you reveals a shocking miscalculation in America's trade strategy. Remember when President Trump imposed that 25% tariff on global steel? Well, that decision is now coming back to haunt us in ways nobody expected. China, watching from the sidelines, played a masterful game of patience. They waited for the perfect moment to strike back, and that moment came right after Trump's steel tariff announcement. Beijing's response: a calculated series of countermoves targeting our automotive industry. Here's what this means for your wallet. Every car requires about 1 ton of steel and aluminum to manufacture. With these tariffs, we're looking at hundreds of dollars in additional costs per vehicle, and you're paying for that. But here's where it gets concerning. While we've been focused on tariff battles, China has quietly become the world's largest vehicle exporter. In just 4 years, they've gone from exporting less than 1 million vehicles to about 5 million annually. They've even overtaken Japan, the former king of car exports. Meanwhile, American auto exports are at 900,000 vehicles per year, and that number is expected to drop further. Our domestic automakers are getting squeezed from both ends, paying more for materials while facing retaliatory taxes from China. If you want to build affordable vehicles today, you can't ignore Chinese manufacturing capacity. They've built an ecosystem that's miles ahead of us, and our tariff strategy has only widened that gap. Instead of strengthening our supply chains first, we jumped straight into a tariff war we weren't prepared to win. Now, our auto industry faces the possibility of being relegated to serving just the domestic market. This isn't just about cars. It's about American manufacturing competitiveness on the global stage, and we're losing ground fast. Good evening. I'm bringing you a critical update on how Washington's trade policies are hitting Americans' wallets. Remember when American cars ruled our roads? Those days are fading fast. Walking down any street in America today, you see Mercedes, BMWs, and German luxury vehicles everywhere. Meanwhile, Fords and Chevys are becoming less common. It's not just about quality anymore. It's about costs. The current administration's 25% steel tariff will add up to $1,500 to every new American vehicle. That's a month's savings for many families. Even if European tariffs on American cars drop, prices will still make your eyes water. Think of it like coffee. When bean prices rise 50 cents, your cup costs $1 more. With cars, we're talking thousands. Since 2020, used car prices are up 40%, maintenance costs up 30%, and insurance rates up 29%. What's keeping industry experts worried is unpredictability. If tariffs hit Mexico and Canada, where Ford and GM have massive operations, we could see a domino effect making today's prices look like bargains. American manufacturers will likely raise their prices to match these new costs. Domestic steel might exceed that 25% increase, pushing prices even higher. When costs go up, consumers pay. Some say this is part of a grand strategy, like 4D chess. Others see it as a self-inflicted wound on American consumers. Either way, in any trade war, the customer always loses. And right now, American car buyers are losing big time. This is just the beginning. Keep your eyes on this developing story. Your wallet's future might depend on it. Back to you in the studio. Good evening. I'm bringing you critical developments in the U.S. China trade situation affecting every American's wallet. The automotive industry faces a perfect storm of economic challenges that matter to your bottom line. Let's break down the numbers affecting your next car purchase. With the proposed 25% tariff, a $25,000 family sedan could cost over $31,000. That's an extra $6,000 from your pocket, regardless of where the car is made. These costs will impact the entire market. China's automotive industry, particularly BYD, isn't just competing. They're innovating faster than American manufacturers. They offer free smart driving systems and advanced AI technology while maintaining lower production costs. This is possible through three factors: growing market share, stable financial backing, and efficient manufacturing. This combination challenges Western automakers significantly. The Trump administration's tariff-focused trade policy may be missing the bigger picture. The concern isn't just immediate price increases. It's the unpredictable ripple effects throughout the economy that could reshape the American automotive industry. American manufacturers face higher production costs while competing with Chinese innovation and efficiency. This threatens the long-term viability of a cornerstone American industry. The situation questions current trade policy effectiveness. Will China's retaliatory measures force a policy reversal? Industry analysts are watching closely, but one thing is certain. The automotive market is transforming rapidly, affecting everyone from factory workers to families seeking their next vehicle. Stay tuned for updates. This story impacts your wallet, job market, and potentially the future of American manufacturing.